Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi, and it is a very exciting day because it is the first outing with full body panels of the UAE Roadster. This is a car conceived, built, developed, and soon to be on sale right here in the UAE. I have with me Mustafa Aldar. Come on, tell me a little bit about this car. You must be so excited today to get this thing out on the track.
Of course, we're finally out on the track. This has been almost 3 years in the making. We started, as almost 3 years ago. Rashid, my business partner, approached me and said, Mustafa, I've been going out on the track in various very good reputation, track cars, and I keep modifying them and I can't really get them where I want. So I was like, why don't we just build one ourselves? So I'm like, can we build one ourselves? I'm like, yes, of course.
Easier said than done, I think.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, I've studied automotive engineering.
Right, cool.
I've done some research. I spent lots of time in the UK. I've visited many car factories in the UK and in Germany. So that's kind of how I thought, okay, it's not that difficult, it's not that complicated. It's just that our region really no one's ventured that far, but we've already got lots of...
So from the idea there of building your own car to this point here, it's been a journey of 3 years.
More or less,
But so tell us a little bit about this car, about how it's been constructed. What we got
a chrome moly chassis to begin with, because for a prototype you want something really solid, really strong. So we went for a really strong material that's used in race cars and in rally cars and so on. They build roll cages out of it, and we had to weld it again professionally, and we went on the safe side again. We over-engineered everything.
But the chassis is your design. So this frame is your design.
To fit the shape of the car basically, and fit our drivetrain. And then you've got a rear engine. It's a custom built engine, especially for us. It's got the head of a Suzuki Hayabusa motorbike engine, and then everything below the head is custom made. So it's a tiny engine, 1.4 liters.
1.4 liters, yeah.
Really small engine, really lightweight, about 70 kilograms.
Wow.
But the output is not lightweight. The output's about 360 horsepower.
360 horsepower for 1.4. At 10,000 RPM.
Again, the red line is about 10,500. So it's really more like a bike engine than a car engine, and it's mated to a 6-speed sequential gearbox. Again, it's a race type transmission. We've got what else have we got? It's transaxle and some 2-knee mounted. So you've got the engine perfectly symmetrical in the car. So we've got the engine right behind the drivers, right behind the passenger, the passenger cell, right in the center of the car. It's perfectly symmetrical, and then it's mated to a 6-speed sequential transmission and transaxle, all in one package. So it's a racing transmission. It's sequential. You don't need to bother with the clutch except for starting.
What about suspension and brakes on this?
Suspension again, we try to use off-the-shelf, racing approved components, race approved components. So suspension is by Öhlins, brakes are by Brembo. It's all we try to spec up everything. So when you take this car on the track, you don't feel the need to modify it to add anything onto it. So
you're saying when you take the car on track, this is primarily designed as a track car? Would it ever be road registered, do you think?
Well, it is primarily designed to outperform most other cars on the track, but there is a provision. I mean, we're speaking to the Emirates Standardization Authority, we're speaking to the registration authorities to see if there's a provision for registering the car on the road. So cool. Negotiations are ongoing, because car owners here, they love their cars and they love to show off. So
and you want to drive it to and from the track rather than just trailer it, right?
And it's perfectly safe. We've over-engineered everything, so it's it's a bit on the heavy side, heavier than we'd like it to be. But
what's the weight distribution, front and rear?
I think it's about 60-40 at the minute. Okay. Yes,
and it's very spacious. I noticed inside. This is for these type of cars, which are normally quite cramped inside. But I noticed this one is massively spacious.
Yeah. We've got this. We've got to cater for all tastes and for all sizes. People, your size shouldn't really be a restriction for you getting in and out of a car, and there's no reason why it can't be as accessible as possible. So that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to keep it as ergonomic, as accessible as possible.
And who designed the shape? Where did the shape?
Well, the shape we've licensed it from a French designer. Again, there's a young and upcoming French designer, and we love the shape. So we approached him and we said, hey, listen. So we had an agreement with him now to use the design, and he's really thrilled and happy that one of his babies, one of his creations is coming to life.
That's a dream come true. Will I get a windshield at some point?
Yes, we're working on that as well as many other points. Yes.
Okay, so I'm sorry to jump ahead. I know that this is the first time it's been out with the full body panels, but what sort of timeline are we looking at? You're looking at putting this into production. When do you think our viewers and people like that could dream about actually buying one of these?
We're hoping, in the next, 2017 again might be optimistic, but I'm hoping that within a year or so we'll have come to some agreement to try and start production in the UAE, because that's the whole point. We want to start off car production here. We've already got some companies that do armored cars, some companies that do heavy goods vehicles and conversions, this kind of niche vehicle. Again, we've got the raw materials here, we've got a good economy, we've got cheap labor and so on. So we can use all that, I think, to our advantage.
It's very exciting times. I can't wait to see this thing being put together, and I can't wait to see a road version, because then I can drive it as well. I know you guys have been out with it in the car just now. We saw that you and Rashid was driving the car. I wonder if I can get a few words with Rashid to see what the car
I'll
was
grab
like.
him for you in a minute.
Let's do that. So Rashid, you've just been out in this thing on the track. I think you've been out there about 20 minutes. You were both out there. I saw you doing stuff on the computer. How did the car feel to you?
It felt good. There was the first thing I was looking for. Frankly, I was comparing to the other open top cars, which I've raced previously. There is no buffeting whatsoever to the.
So this is the first time that you've run it with the body panels, right?
Yes.
So what's the sort of stuff you were looking for? You're looking for with airflow, rattles. You were looking for buffeting.
We were looking for mostly rattles to see how things are going, and the airflow was giving us a good indication on how it handles on the straights and on high-speed corners, just like the one before the hotel there. And it handled pretty good. I mean, it's much better than what I expected.
You're saying there's a lot of grip, but you're feeling a little bit of understeer in the car.
Yes, and I'm guessing the understeer is because of the setup, and the car is a bit fairly long compared to the competitors. So that I think that could be arranged once we.
It's quite a massive car, isn't it? But it's got a low center of gravity, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Very low. Yes.
So what additional work how much work do you think you need to do to this car to get it to a setup to where you'll be happy with it?
I think mechanically we're almost there. It's just the fine tuning of the body panels.
Putting in accessories and luxuries.
That'll go inside. But will you have much? Because initially you'll market this as a track car, right?
No, we just want to have fully working electrics.
Right, really.
So the lights are all in there, but we've not hooked them up yet. So we need to hook up the lights, and we need to make sure again the mechanicals are all fine with high temperature running, because our environment is very harsh on engines.
So do you feel that it met your expectations from your test today?
Yes, definitely.
This is what you're expecting it to do.
Yes.
So how excited are you guys to be
I'm
actually?
Very excited.
You're talking about a 3-year journey to get to this point, right?
When a golf course was, I don't play golf, but you see these people on TV who hit a ball that goes impossibly high and then it lands on the spot. I mean, this is
one. It's like a hole in one.
You have to just run and run with it, and then you don't know where you're going to end up. But fortunately, it's ended up on the right track and the right place. So I'm very happy.
Inshallah, I'm sure it will. Thanks so much for talking to us. I know you were really busy today. It's your first test, and thanks so much for taking the time out to talk with us and to show us the car. We're really privileged to be here. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.